am fresh out of the shower, and I'm going to do one of those videos I haven't done in a while, which is a complete cruelty-free face using just one brand. And today it is Elle. And let me show you the items that I used before starting to film. First of all, I removed all of last night's crud from my face using this Elle Hydrating Gel Melt Cleanser. Now, I've heard some people say that they don't like it, but I do very much, because once you put it on, it's just like any of the face oils that you use to remove your makeup. You rub it on, and then you put a little water with it, and that causes it to emulsify. And then after that, I use the Elle Daily Face Cleanser with purified water, it says, and just put that all over my face, and that removed the oil and the goop. Okay, and what I'm doing to my hair, this is Nioxin, and this is scalp treatment for noticeably thinning hair. And this is number 1. I'm actually supposed to use number 2. Somehow I accidentally bought a number 1, and I'm just using it up. And finally, I am going to show you how I apply my minoxidil topical solution by Nioxin. This is hair regrowth treatment. It comes with a regular little screw top, and then this, and then when you get it, you replace the screw top with this. And you squeeze, and that gives you the appropriate amount. Actually, it gave me a little too much, but the appropriate amount is marked on the side, and you just squeeze it through your hair. I concentrate mainly on this side right here, because that's where it's really slow to come back in, and then right in here it seems a little slow coming back in. But I don't know if you can see, I'm squeezing it all the way through my hair, and I concentrate a little here. I've been more successful growing it back in there. But anyway, okay, that has nothing to do with today. I just thought that I'd take this opportunity to show you, and I'm going to comb it through, and I'm going to rub it around right in there. Okay. Okay, now the other thing I put on my face, I put a humectant, because as far as I know, Elle doesn't make a humectant. So it's not all Elle. There's one thing on my face that isn't Elle, and that was Drunken Elephant Pea Hydra Intensive Hydration Gel. So I put that on right before I started filming, and it is, yes, it is dry, so I'm going to apply Elle Daily Hydration Moisturizer. I guess you hear blind Walter White, the blues poodle, who decided that this would be a great time to sing the blues. I think he probably thinks it's dinner time. And it may be close to dinner time. No, he's like an hour and 15 minutes premature. Oh well. Okay, and now I'm going to use the Elle Illuminating Eye Cream. Elle, I get Elle primarily at my Walmart. Occasionally, they'll have it at my Walgreens, usually just around Christmas time. And I know it's available online. When we had a Kmart, I believe they had it at Kmart. Okay, I'm going to use the Elle Poreless Face Primer because that's my main issue, is that I'm trying to fill in these pores around here, although I generally put it all over my face. But they seem to have 3 or 4 other primers. This one, of course, being a pore filler, is going to be of the silicone type. And I'm not really sure what the others are for, but they have them, so if your concern is something else, you should look for them. Okay, so there's that. I think we need to let that sit for a minute before we do the foundation. I have 2 e.l.f. foundations. I have the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation and the e.l.f. Foundation Serum. And both of these were in the Battle of the Foundations. And as I recall, I wasn't really very happy with either one of them. Okay, that has dried very quickly. Yay. But I'm going to go with the serum because I seem to remember liking it a little bit better. And I'll tell you, my face is in better condition now than it was then, so who knows, it may work out better than it did then. We'll just have to see. Okay, honestly, it looks okay, but not great. It might look better after I get the powder on, but by and large, it's looking good, except in the really dry spots, and in those places it's looking kind of crepey. Okay, now I'm gonna try the concealer, and it's really interesting. This concealer doesn't really say much of anything. It says fair, but there it is. It doesn't seem to be doing much of anything at all. Even the color looks, you know, right? Maybe I need to apply more. Okay, the powder I'm going to be using is e.l.f. High Definition Powder, and this is one of those white powders. And my very favorite powder that I'm still trying to use up is a white high definition powder by Makeup Forever. And this one is not quite as good. That one leaves me looking sort of flawless, and this one not as much. And I know I'm not using the right brush, but this is my personal favorite brush for this task, because I want to get into all my nooks and crannies. You know, all around the under eye and around the nose and under the nose and so on and so forth. Okay. I've got to try this in the big mirror. Yeah, basically what it did was it emphasized all those places that were looking kind of crepey, the dry spots. Now they look chalky on top of crepey. So, oh, another thing I did before I got in the tub was I used the e.l.f. lip exfoliator. And I hope you can see this texture. I don't know what's in there, but I think it's brown sugar and coffee or something. And this is my favorite lip exfoliator. It applies just like a lipstick. And that reminds me, I should put on right now. I have some just little lip gloss that I'd rather put on right now than later. Okay. Now, what this is no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my contour first. What I have is an Elle contour palette. If I can get it to open. There we go. So this is really good for contouring in that you've got, you've got your dark, your darker, and then these that you can, highlight without a shimmer, your bones if you like to. And where is my brush? I sat down with every brush except my contour brush. I'm going to use some other brush. Okay. So I'm going to use this one that's not as dark. Not a bad brush for the purpose. Okay, I'm going to dip into the darker one and just go in at the extreme outer corner there, outer edge. That's not a corner. Let's give the illusion that I have a chin. Okay, a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to use one of these light ones up here. I like to put them on those bones up there to define my hairline a little bit. And I should switch to another brush. Oh well. Okay. So there's that. But the actual highlighter is in this little duo kit. It's highlighter on one side and a bronzer on the other, and I don't really use a bronzer per se. But I am going to use the highlighter in the usual spot. Okay, that's kind of subtle, which is, nice for an older broad. It's not as screamy as some of them are. And I have an Elle blush palette. This comes kind of this almost orange, 2 pinks, and a coral, and the coral has some glitter in it. I'm going to go for the darker of the pinks, the one right here. Okay, that's pretty pigmented. Next, the eyebrows. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, this is a nice, tiny, pointy one. I have not used this before, so we're going to find out together. The lid just fell off, and the dog just walked in the room. Which means I really need to pick up the lid so the dog doesn't decide it's a treat. Okay, let's look in the big mirror. Anything going on wrong here, I think, is user error. Yeah, I drew that on a little too low on that one side because I wasn't looking in the large mirror. There, I look a little more like myself now. Okay. Okay. Next we have an Elle palette. I wasn't able to find any Elle eyelid primer. It has the traditional thing. I'm about to throw that away, which is sitting on top of a tiny little mirror. But anyway, it's got a nice kind of cream for the whole eye, a gray, a dark brown, and kind of a kind of a navy blue. So let's see how this works. I'm going to put the cream over the entire lid. I'm going to put this kind of gray in the crease. It's not highly pigmented, but given the color, I'm kind of glad. Because to look at it, it's a really, really dark gray. I wouldn't want it to be a really dark gray. Okay, and I think I'm going to put this one that looks kind of brownish maroon down on the lower lid. Okay, they're not very pigmented, and they're very, very powdery. And I usually like everything, but I'm not impressed. Okay, and I'm going to take this darkest one, which is either a navy blue or almost a black, and I'm going to use that for my line under my eye. I might, very powdery, I might be wise to put some of that, just a little of that in the outer corner. Find a tiny brush. Well, that barely made a difference. I mean, I'm trying, you know, to not overdo it, but I'm really doing nothing at all. Weird. Okay. Let's see. An e.l.f. mascara. I just got the really tiny one because I like tiny ones. They make the under eye so easy. And they're not bad on the upper either. Hey, that's what this is good for. To wipe up the shadow that went where I didn't want it to go. Okay, and the lipstick I have is called Party in the Buff. And I could not find any eyeliners, which is why I used the shadow for an eyeliner, and I could not find any lip liners. Okay, so this is a kind of a peachy nude. To me, it looks darker there than it looks on my lips. I have another one, and it's called Nostalgic. Let's see how that one looks. Okay, that looks more like a pink. Likewise, to me, it looks lighter on me than it does in the tube. So that's also a nude. It's a little pinker, and it's got a shimmer. And I'm going to use the Moisture Mist in the set. Okay. I have to say, I'm not as pleased with this as I was with many of the others that I've done in the Cruelty Free Face series. What I liked was, I like the makeup removing balm. I like the blush palette, okay. I like the contour palette, okay. I don't really care for the foundation. I don't really care for the little eye palette. I don't care for the lipsticks. Let me check the mascara. It doesn't really look like I have any mascara on. I kind of look like a joke. The eyebrow pencil is okay. I just don't really like eyebrow pencils. I prefer powder. Uh, didn't like the lipsticks. This was not a huge success, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's weird. Mascara doesn't look like I'm wearing mascara. And it doesn't really look like I have much on in the way of shadow at all. So if you're going for really, really subtle as to be almost invisible, this one's for you. But you can't beat their lip exfoliator. So and this is okay. This is not my favorite, but it's okay. So I guess that's it. This is a cruelty-free face, but I wouldn't, if I were you, count on getting everything you need for out of this line. Sorry, Elle. Sorry. Anyway, that's it for this one. I have, gosh, several more to do for you. I have been stocking up on, what have I been stocking up on? Milani, LA Colors, several other of the cruelty-free brands. So those will be coming your way within the next month or two. Well, that's it for this one. Love y'all. Bye.